Hello one and all, and welcome back to the world of Middle-earth, and here at as we have another 4v4 for you here in this glorious world of Middle-earth. And this is the Dawnless Days mod for Attila Total War. If you are unaware of it, how have you managed to go on this long without knowing about this mod? It's such a great mod. But yes, we have a 4v4 here set up. We have, I believe on the defense, we have Rohan, we have Gondor as we saw there, we have, I believe, Erebor, and I think also Dunland. I've seen them somewhere. Yeah, Dunland all the way down at the far end over there. On the attack, we do have Harad, we have, we saw the Orcs of Mordor, we have the Eastlings, and I believe also Linden is the final faction as well. So yeah, so a good selection here. Already Linden, like Noldor and Nobles here taking a lot of hits. I presume that's from the artillery there. Trebuchet getting some early shots off there. So yeah, I'm really excited to see how this one goes down. We've got some very varied like armies and like alliances here. We've got good and evil fighting side by side on both sides here today. I mean, the elves have decided to stand with evil, and Dunland has decided to stand with good. It's a very strange sort of mix-up, but yeah, it's certainly an interesting one. And it's been a hot minute since we've been on Umbar. This is one of like the older maps, but it still looks great, and it's one of the biggest maps for sure as well. Look at the size of it. I mean, the city is just vast. And this, you can see no one decided to spawn on this side here. This is also a spawn point for the attackers. They can land here, and they can assault from this point. It is a bit of a rough like fight for them though, because they have to either fight over this land bridge here, or over this bridge as well, over on this side as well. But yeah, so they didn't decide to do that, which is probably a smart idea, to be honest. It usually is quite tough. I always find that on Umbar, everything is fought by this wall or around this this area for a long time, and then all of a sudden, there's like a breakthrough, and then they have to retreat to this final cap point here. That's usually how these games go. We'll see if that's the case here today. This battle, I've been told, is super close and comes down to the last few moments. So definitely worth sticking around to see how this one goes down. Get yourself some popcorn. Get yourself like a drink, a beer, maybe well, maybe not a beer if you're not of age, but maybe then get yourself some, I don't know, some Coke or something like that. You know, get yourself something nice and enjoyable to sit down and enjoy some Dawnless Days. At the moment of like recording this, I am feeling a little bit under the weather, but we are on the road to recovery. So if I do sound like slightly weird and like just not as usual, it's probably because I'm just a little bit ill still. But yes, as you can see here, Gondor is ready and waiting. These Blackroot Vale archers clearly don't even see these orcs as worthy to shoot down. Their orc lives don't matter, and these guys probably are going to get killed off anyway pretty easily. These orc warriors are not that much of a threat to anything really over here. This was sent in by a member of my Discord and a fellow sub. If you'd like to send in your own replays to the channel, then feel free to join the Discord. The link is down below in the description of this video. It's the best place to send in your replays if you want to have them featured on the channel. And a bit of a charge coming off here as we have Champion Reavers charging into some Loki Rim down here, trying to get a bit of a charge. This is a really good strategy. His infantry like comes off the wall. It can't form square, or not form square, form shield wall. So it's very vulnerable. If it could form square, that would be very effective, but it cannot. But yeah, so that's yeah, they lost like one man there, did the Champion Reavers, and killed like a lot of this unit, and they're gonna be able to get another charge off. This unit has actually fully come off the wall now, but yeah, still not forming shield wall. Not that it really would matter. That was a poor charge. Won't really matter there. We're seeing a Variag warriors as well getting hit hard by archers. They're a really good target to go for. More cavalry charges over here. This looks like this is in fact Rohan going in for these charges. So this is like the strategy of the defenders. They're going to use cavalry on the defense, use it inside the walls, and the enemy can't get in their own cavalry just yet to support. This is nice of the mark. They took a lot of casualties actually. 25 casualties they've taken. But yeah, they can't get their own cav in just yet because they haven't captured any gates, so this one has just fallen. So yeah, here we go. Finally, we're seeing like allied cav come inside, or allied, if you're supporting the attackers, I guess. Variag Lancers now inside. They'll be able to help chase down any Rohirrim that dare chase or go after any more attackers. Let me know who you're rooting for, by the way. Are you an attacker, team attacker today, or are you team defender? Are you more of a... Like, I mean, either side has good and evil in it. It's just which faction do you prefer? Like, is your favorite faction perhaps the elves, like Linden? Because if so, you're probably team attacker. If it's Gondor, you're probably team defender. And if you're a weird person and you really like Dunland, you're definitely team defender. Dunland again, getting a pretty good charge off here. They've eradicated this Eastling unit, which is very good. And they are about to have to deal with some varied glances. But these guys look like they're taking a lot of casualties. I'm not sure how or why. If there's traps over here, that might be why. But otherwise, I have not a clue how they've taken so many casualties. There must be traps. Or maybe the oil spilled down onto these guys. I'm not really sure. It's got to be one or the other. Infantry yet to still have a bit of a fight. They just kind of stood off each other at the moment. And maybe it's these archers, these Black Veil archers have used some ammo. Maybe they were shooting at these Variag Lancers. But yeah, no one actually having an infantry fight just yet. Just a bit of cav skirmishing off to start with. We have got airable crossbows here as well. I think they're coming forward maybe to... maybe they're trying to shoot these Variags up here on the wall. I'm not really sure, but they do need to be careful. There's clan spearmen coming around. And also those Variag Lancers are on their way back round. Airable crossbows can take... It probably can take a charge, but I still want to risk it with this really nice and very useful crossbow unit.
Enemy units have rallied and returned to the battle.
Looks like they're going to retreat. I was going to say they need to retreat. And this cav here, this Champion Reaver, needs to get back as well. There's no need to risk it. Like, there's a solid unit of airable axe warriors that are here that's going to be able to deal with them. Oh. Instead, I think they're just going to kill this Eastling unit off one last time. They're like, just go die, Eastlings, is probably what they're thinking. And yet, they've been flattened to the ground. Rip in peace. I mean, to be fair, respect to the Eastling unit, it held on till about 10 men left. Oh yeah, this Variag Lancer is getting hit hard. That was definitely from archers. I think that might be the Gondorian archers here just shooting over the top. Or the Rohirrim ones actually could be them. They look like they've used ammo. How are these guys in combat? What are the airable cross? How is like one guy over here was in combat? I'm not really sure. Somehow these guys are apparently in combat, and it's combat even. Very bizarre. It looks like Harad's about to take this this gate. Don't know why he just stack more men on top of it. Could have done a lot better. We're now also going to see Knights of the House of Earl here. Rohan is being really aggressive with the cavalry he's brought. It looks like he's brought a lot of it as well. He's got another one back there, another Knights of the House of Earl. They are focusing down the units, but honestly, I don't know if it's going to be worth it. He could have charged and hit a lot of these Haradrim. Might have been worth it. Might have been worth a go. Because otherwise, as soon as they get into combat, it's going to be pretty hard for that cav to be used effectively. So this area here is probably the biggest area to operate with your cavalry. We're going to have a charge over here as well from Dunland. He is charging into clan spears, so it is a tier 1 spear unit. So it will take casualties, but it is still a spear unit. Like, it's good anti-cav. And here we go, the first infantry fight is getting underway here as well. Variag infantry going in here, Variag warriors going in. They're going to take on the Erebor Axe Warriors. And they've got a pretty decent charge off, so they should get the advantage. But I think Erebor, in the long run, wins this one. Oh yeah, they killed a fair few. Oh, actually, we've got a bit of a fight over here as well. Mordor sending in a really battered Uruk throng against Gondor. So Gondor is taking on Mordor here. A classic matchup. I guess thinking about this actually, just thinking back to like this side over here where we have Harad. Harad here is like technically reclaiming his homeland. They technically own Umbar, I guess. Well, they sort of do with like the pirates. So really, they should. They're the good guys here today in a weird way, because they're the ones that lost their home from like Gondor. And yeah, this spear unit, it's getting some kills on these Champion Reavers, but it is suffering. But I mean, it's a big win, I think, for the defenders. They're killing off a really expensive cav unit here with a cheap clan spearman. This is just not a good deal for Dunland, though they are about to probably deal with this Varag Lancer once and for all. Though the spears, yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting move. Put it like that for Dunland just to be charging into spears relentlessly. Talking of interesting moves, we've got Uruk spears now going in against Gondor's swords. I'd imagine Gondor holds this. Spears aren't really the most effective breakthrough unit. The officer there leading from the front like an absolute legend. We're going to see these Black Root Vale archers maybe shoot some units on the wall. I don't know. I guess shooting the Uruks isn't really worth it. They're probably waiting for guards of the teeth and any shock infantry and the trolls for sure. These are gold chevron Nolokai. They're good. Got another cav charge coming out here again. And this is Champion Reavers again going for charge. This time onto Elven Spears. Much better speed at least to charge if you're going to charge one. But my god, will they make you pay. These Elven Spears, I can imagine. Well, to be fair, they took a lot of casualties. But yeah, the Champion Reavers are nearly done. But I think they've got at least 100 plus kills. They're doing alright. Then we've got two spear units fighting out here. Elder Spearmen versus Clan Spearmen. Dunland should win this. Gonna get a rear charge here from the Champion Reavers that are literally down to 7 men. But they're gonna help rout this Clan Spearman. And a little rear charge here actually might just finish them off. Yeah, wow. There you go. The Champion Reavers had one last little bit to give. I mean, the Elder Spearmen, if they wanted to, could engage this Noldorian sword. All they have to do is shoot on the flank. But then I guess the elves could do the same back to them. Lots of shock infantry and lots of pole arms and lots of squishy things really for archers to shoot here from the Eastlings, that is for sure. Already see guards to teeth as well being pushed up. This is early from Mordor. Wow, I mean there's a lot of ammo back here as well. Yeoman of the Mark, maybe not the best archers and Black Root Vale archers, but it's still still bowmen. That's the thing. But they're gonna throw these guys in first against the well, this early against Gondor swords. I mean, in fairness, these Gondor swords haven't lost a man yet, but still. I mean, yeah, look at that. Guards' teeth already taking casualties. I mean, it's only the one. There you go, a second one. And now they're going to retreat as Gondor, and they're going to allow the guards of the teeth here to maybe get flanked. And oh boy, look at that. The Archer Fire coming in is brutal on these guards of the teeth. Already down like 10 or so men. The Cav here, we had Knights of the Mark that were going to make a charge. It's not worth it now. There's a lot of spears being rushed up. But Gondor faffing about here, he might just lose his choke point anyway. I mean, if he can get the right angle, he can allow Mordor to come in, and then he can just charge with the cavalry relentlessly. Oh no, he's not going to allow it. That nearly was catastrophic, to be fair. I mean, there still is a gap. Yeah, here, look. I mean, it looks like we're going to see Uruk Spears now take on Sword Thanes here. I mean, this is not the end of the world. Sword Thanes should be able to deal with Uruk Spears, I think. Also, the Cav here could support. It can get some decent shots into the charges into the side. And there you go. Uruk Spears are losing to Sword Thanes. The Sword Thanes aren't great, so this could go either way still. And we got the Black Root Vale archers as well, shooting into the backs of these. Oh my gosh, the guard of the teeth is already down to 30 men. That was insane. Well, that's a bad move there from Mordor, really. You got to think about it, throwing in those guards so early. Over here, I mean, we're seeing the Eastlings making no real progress against the dwarves.
The enemy refuses to admit defeat. Their unit has rallied.
How is Harad doing? Harad has engaged. He's taking on Dunland here. I feel like this is the most like the area that they're going to break through. Harad's got some pretty solid infantry. Got some Umbar usurpers. I mean, their archers are okay. Adun and Akori, though, obviously is incredible. Serpent Warrior should also do okay. So, I mean, they do have the means of breaking through here. Especially with Dunland using spears. Like, the shock infantry of Harad could rinse these guys. You see a tiny, oh my gosh, this tiny little Dunland unit is still being a nuisance. It's going to try and charge into more. What is it doing? Oh, it's going into the back of the infantry here. My gosh, this tiny little Dunland unit is being such a nuisance. I mean, it's going to waver and break here, but yeah, the Umbar usurpers having to be sent in to deal with that cav. I've got axe infantry going in as well. So there's Loki Rima infantry over here as well, supporting Harad. So the two Eastman forces fighting side by side. Spears here from Mordor have been, well, they've not been defeated, but they're going to be defeated. Orc warriors here facing off against Ringlow Vale troops. So, I mean, that's a pretty good matchup for both sides there. But Gondor is 2v1ing Mordor right now in this choke point. So, Mordor's going to have to send some more guys in. Good signs for Mordor on the walls over here, though. They're beating Dunland. Dunland's chosen as well. Pretty easily. I think, well, they don't have much armor, so that might have something to do with it. Whether they got shot, I don't know. Yeah, these guys didn't even use any of their ammo, any of their throwing axes. Which is a shame, but at the same time, I'm not surprised. This unit really is actually... They need to be better. Dunherd Chosen, they could really do with having more accuracy on those axes. Mustard Spears here waiting. This is definitely a weak spot to break through. If Mordor can manage it, they could definitely make make a pretty decent push here. But he seems to have moved everything to the center. And he's going to just try relentlessly to push through this choke point. And Olokai have been sent in. Mordor really sending in his elites early. He's got the trolls in there. We've had the guards, the teeth in there. Olokai in here, I mean, they might be able to break through, but they're going to take a lot of ammo. And it's also in the back as well. It's like he's shot in the back by, what is this, Gondor archers. Rohan and Gondor trying to hold back this fury of Mordor, but oh yeah, Olokai already down to 6 out of 10. They are getting focused, a bit like the guards were. Yeah, the Olokai getting focused hard, and the Gondor infantry is down to 62 men, and it should just about hold. Olokai look like they're going to get sent back in. Don't know if that was the smartest idea. You got them out. They were probably safer staying out, and that's his only Olokai. That's gold, triple gold chevron. Could be a bit of a waste there, we're about to see. And there you go, we got the Orc warriors there being, well, not routed, but they're retreating. I wouldn't bother shooting them with the Gondor archers either. It's just not worth it. But look at this, we've got, the dwarves retreating. I don't know what the strategy is here. They're going to retreat. Whether it's still... These Lokirim... Oh, it's because the Lokirim halberds are on their way up. They're, I guess, a bit worried about them. Honestly, I wouldn't be too worried. I mean, yeah. I mean, they've got, like, flanking units ready to go. All they need is crossbows. Crossbows, like, right here to support that, like, offense that they're going for. Then they can just shoot head-on at these halberds. If they want to do anything, that's what I'd do. You've got Dunland and Gondor over here now engaged against Haran. Looks like Dunland is not been overwhelmed, but he's just retreating. But I hope you guys are all having great days, and today's video is only just improving that. Hope you all, I don't know, for those of you that are back at school, I know some of you are still there. I hope school's going well, and those of you who are just working, you know, I hope work's doing you well. Hopefully you're like killing it there. Earning that bread. Got Serpent Warriors here, they're losing decisively. I think it's because of archers. I don't know, the only archer fire I can see though is coming on is actually on the Gondor sword infantry. Well, I say that actually, maybe this Dunherd archer here is actually causing a few problems, but it has since been dealt with by the Haradrim archers as well. That's been focused down. Over on this side here, the elves, which you've not really seen a lot of, is engaged over here with Dunland. We'll get the right angle, so we'll get the nice bright side. Linden here, yeah, kind of not struggling, but I guess we just haven't seen a lot of them. Maybe they're going to leave the elves as a reserve and let the other factions be the aggressive ones for now. Kind of makes sense. I mean, Linden does have some pretty solid units. I mean, they've got good pikes, good swords, and they've also got pretty solid shock infantry. All pretty good for later on in the siege. I mean, if the defenders do use up all their ammo, and there's nothing left for those Noldorian nobles, they will be in trouble. Those Noldorian nobles are some of the best around. A lot of wavering orcs here, though. And again, more archers using their ammo, their precious ammo. They need to protect it, save their ammo. They don't need to use ammunition on wavering orcs. Orc warriors over here, they're just running into like a brick wall. They really are. The Ringlet Vale men at arms doing a good job. Dunland's chosen over here, Dunher chosen over here, still holding on against these Uruk spears. Good to see. We have got some elves inside the city now, and it looks like maybe some. Oh no, these are all Eastlings. They did put the crossbows up here like I thought they would. Set them up. And they're going to attack the flanking units here. Smart. I hope the dwarves know what they're doing. I mean, it looks like they do. They're going to just shoot into the flank now, this unit that they're engaging. It's not a bad strategy. I mean, the way to stop this is going to push the halberds forward now. Going to push the halberds straight down the road. Which worked. I mean, Rohan has got reserves ready to support. As you can see, the dwarves are retreating. They haven't none of it. I don't know, though. I feel like the dwarves being the kings of choke points, they really shouldn't have given up that choke point, but we'll see. Oh. I don't know, though. That crossbow fire, that's pretty nasty. They're just shooting into the backs of these wards rune here, and there's like 5, 6 that are dropping down each volley. Rohan needs to be careful he doesn't pull through accidentally here. Because it has kind of pulled through a little bit there. His unit is going to suffer some losses because of that. But yeah, Rohan, I mean, he should be fine. He also doesn't want to run through his ally as he's like going to be obstructing him. But yeah, really good shots over there into by the crossbows. Yeah, that wall of the room, that's been gunned down actually. But look at it, losing already. Losing decisively. Got our halberdiers moving up, and the elves are just behind. If they just push forward, those crossbows would no longer be able to be used, and they cause all sorts of problems. Like Harad kind of is. I mean, Harad's making steady progress. Or, I mean, at least it looks like he is. And by Usurpers now against Elder Spears, I'd say the sword should win. Gondor is trying to help over here. I don't know if they've got a fair few reserves still. Elder Spears, don't hurt archers, some cav as well. But yeah, I mean, it's actually keeping a lot in reserve, so it does seem like they're going to try and hold at the walls, or at least in their choke points for as long as possible. Blood Avengers, lots of Blood Avengers. We've got Iron Guard here. We've got more cav. We've got Iron Guard, like Found Guard, Citadel Guard. Yeah, there's plenty down here that's you know, being kept in reserve. These dwarves seem like they've got pretty battered up from that fight, and they're still getting shot at here in the flank, so yeah, that's not a good angle to stay on. Oh, we've got a general charging in here. This is Mordor's gen going in. Mordor being very, very rash. I mean, I think he's out of an army possibly soon. We've got Found Guard coming over. So one of the precious Found Guard being mobilized. Mordor, yeah, though, I think is short of troops. I don't know. He's sending his guards to the teeth now and orc pillagers. So, but yeah, try to charge his general in there. I mean, what was he going to do if he broke through? Was he going to just carry on charging? There's plenty of Rohan cav waiting. Like this. Look at this. Witch King is now going to push forward. Even if he gets through this gap, that's what the defenders want. They want him to get through this gap. Yeah, at the moment, balance of power, I mean, it's 5,700 against 6,700 attackers. So the defenders still have about 1,000 men to catch up on, but they're doing a good job at the moment. But it can all go wrong still. It will all go very wrong. This is a bad sign though. Gondor archers out of ammo. They've got swords drawn. Is there no supply barrels they could go and use? There surely is some, I would have thought. There's a few by the walls I've seen. But yeah, there's a supply barrel over here, which it looks like some Gondor archers are going to use. But yeah, they should try and just preserve archers if they can. Like, try and use the supply barrels. They are important. It's free ammo at the end of the day.
Enemy units have returned to the battle.
Gondor here though looks like he's kind of cleaning up the remains of these Haradrim at the moment. Whether they're going to send in the Aduna Kori, I don't know. Harad or, I mean, Mordor is going to be the first to bow out as the attackers, or as the evil forces, but they are both evil as well. I mean, sword things versus orc pillagers could go either way, but it looks like the orc pillagers have been sent packing just the pikes have arrived.
The men are broken and are fleeing.
Men breaking, hey, oh yeah, over on this side here, Harad is actually breaking through. It looks like the general here, Dunlop, is going to retreat. But yeah, it looks like as though a cav charge was made, and the sensor for this Dunland and Gondor defense has broken. And again, Dunland challenges Harad to more choke point fighting. I mean, he's wearing down this Haradrim infantry, which is a good start. But he has lost his main choke point. I mean, if they could get, actually, but they can't really. I mean, maybe they could get archers up there and shoot down. It's hard to say. It's going to be a rough one. What spears are set up here? Muhad Beast Sabers. Yeah, they're a solid spear. Definitely would not charge them at Knights House of Earl. And spears arriving here as well. Noldorian spears. Yeah, this cab just needs to retreat. Get out of there. Not worth it. Muhad Beast Sabers are still losing decisively here. It's quite hilarious. The archers down there are still combat even. What absolute legends. This is an unorthodox faction being used in a siege. Dunland. They're doing pretty well though. They can maybe do with a little bit of archer support, but these spears aren't going to fare too well eventually. And now the dwarves come back into this choke point here against the elves. We've got Noldorian swords and Noldorian spears here. So dwarves versus elves, these guys just love to kill each other. But who will win? Will it be dwarves or will it be elves? My bet's on the elves because they have the shock infantry. Well, the dwarves, they don't give in. I'll give them that, they don't give in. I haven't actually seen any dwarven shock infantry, speaking of that. The dwarves got bunches of like axe infantry, but I don't think they've got any shock. A lot of blood avengers. Got a halberdier all the way back there on the far side, and an iron guard just protecting that rear in case there's a flank there. But it's obviously relying on the defend and the attackers to know that sneaky way. Got Cav charging in here, Knights House of L. Also, I thought it was just Theoden, but it's not. It's Champion Reavers going in, trying to cause some havoc. And we've got Cav here as well, Knights of the Mark going in. They look like they're going to go for a charge here. Get a charge, boys! No, it's not a good charge, all I can say. That was poor. Gets a 0 out of 10. Yeah, they are going to need... there isn't actually any Dwarven shock infantry from what I'm seeing. Very surprising, because it's pretty cheap and pretty effective, most of it. Like, the train stuff's really good. The price it's costing. But what a combo. Wards of Rune and Noldorian swords. It's pretty nasty. But still, the fight, like over here, they've not made any ground, has the attackers. I mean, they've just run against a wall of men of the West, whether it's Rohan, whether it's Gondor. I mean, they're running out of infantry. Give them that. Blackroot Vale archers now going into combat. Challenge these Uruk archers that are also out of combat. So it doesn't really matter. Out of combat, out of ammo. So it doesn't really matter who wins this. Anything coming up to support Mordor? No, it looks like they're going to leave the rest of their infantry back here. I mean, this is battered stuff anyway. I don't know whether they've still got guards of the teeth somewhere. There they are. Looks like right now they're going to try and shoot these Gondorian swords in combat. Which is, well, not in combat, sorry, well, in sheer wall. Which is not a great idea, to be honest. Looks like these Gondorian archers getting full ammo. That's what they're going to do. Just give one unit, like, full ammo again. Certainly a good idea to shoot these guards of the teeth if you're Gondor. Certainly a good idea. Got crossbows in here as well. That's not helping us slow down the charge here from the Noldorian elves, and also the Wards of Rune. Both doing a good job here. It's nice to see Linden. We don't see Linden as much these days. Oh, big push here, though. And it's led by the Mummoks and the cavalry of Harad. Wow, okay, yeah. They're making good progress on this flank now here. That might force the rest of the defenders back. Because with pushes around here, I mean, they haven't been fully pushed back. I think they've retreated a fair amount. But still need to be careful. Certainly those Dunhud archers, they can keep the Mummoks at bay on their own, like, quite easily. The spears will stop any cav charges, but that Aduna Kori gets into combat. Oh boy, are they nasty. And if you're new to Dawnless Days and you don't know what Aduna Kori look like, they are by far and away one of the best looking units in this mod. A man just covered head to toe in steel with a massive sword. They look awesome, they really do. And you got the baby Mummoks in the background. They are eventually going to be obviously full-scale Mummoks, but for now we're just baby ones, which is still quite funny and adorable. But here we go, the Aduna Kori going in. These Elder Spearmen stand no chance against the Númenórean blood of Umbar. Slice and dice them, boys. Slice and dice them. Yeah, Aduna Kori here, I mean, they're just sending in tuners just to make sure they break through this unit. They probably will easily. These Elder Spearmen don't stand much of a chance. The archers here, though, I guess they could shoot them down, but they have that choice, either the Mummoks or the shock infantry. It's a rough choice. You can see a third of Aduna Kori being sent in here. This is severe blobbing. I would not do this. If I can recommend any move, do not blob up all your elite shock infantry like this. Because, I mean, they're lucky at the moment that there's no real areas for the archers to really, like, I mean, they've got a little bit of ammo, but they're shooting the cav instead. They're shooting these serpent guards instead. But yeah, like, archers and artillery will have an absolute field day shooting elite shock infantry like this, especially if it's all blobbed up in one choke point. The Junakori here with their just huge swords. What is the cav doing? Oh, the cav's gonna... Yeah, I guess it didn't pull through. There is a gap here. And he's trying to get after these Knights of the House of Earl now. Don't know why they don't just engage them. They're medium shock cav. I guess they need to get a charge off to make it an effective fight. Who knows? I mean, the Champion Reaver's coming over as well as support. And it's all going a little bit haywire on this side here. Certainly going from bad to worse a little bit. The Junakori there, yep, they've done their job well. The next line of defense really is going to be over here. It's going to be Gondor and the dwarves, and they've got their pikes and their spears ready to go. Dunland and Rohan here are merely delaying the inevitable. That is the inevitable loss. Elven spears here. I mean, they're down to 26 men. I don't know how many dwarves they've killed. I'd hope a fair few. Warzaru now chasing the Erebor Axe Warriors. This was a bad time to turn around and retreat when a shock infantry unit is chasing you. It seems like we're going to see crossbows here. They're going to try and get some volleys into these elves and just try and weaken them down, I think. And also just maybe shoot the Warzaru behind as well. I guess trying to get the most out of your crossbows is not a bad idea. Witch King over here though is battered. What's he got left though really as an army? Not much it seems. Not much at all. Is this another Rohan cav? Yeah, Rohan were a lot of cav in this one. Well, that's what they went for. It's just a heavy cav sort of army here. Here we go. Urukach is going into combat. These orcs are here for one thing and one thing only. Man flesh. Again over here, archers just like running into like Gondor's swords. They're getting butchered. They really are. It's just not a fair fight. It's not a fair fight. The Uruk-archers are being, cut down pretty easily there. I mean, if the defenders wanted to, with a couple of cavians, Knights of the Mark could go over here. They could try and kill these archers, these Corsair archers. Worth maybe killing off, you know. They have no ammo, but you never know. Late game, those archer units could be huge. I mean, that area is open really for a charge. There is Knights of the Mark here. I mean, whether they think the Noldorian spears will commit, I don't know. But there isn't a lot in the way of infantry here that's going to challenge these Erebor axes. So, certainly an option they have to them. Knights of the Mark there, they could just charge this unit. They'd probably route that one pretty easily. That's really small. And the units after that, you could definitely get them. But they are running out of time now because these units are rejoining the army, which is now going to be protected by Serpent Guards for now. Theoden. Oh no, this is a Champion Reaver. Where is Theoden? Theoden! Where are you? Oh, it's not even Theoden, it's Aemir. Sorry, I don't know why I was thinking it was Theoden. Clearly I'm going delirious with this illness. And I keep thinking that Aemir is Theoden. Do you know what they need to add? Which I think would be a really cool unit to add. Is like the Orc Cultist. I don't know what you call it. But like in the movies, there's like a few orcs with like red face tattoos, and they are like apparently like a cultist unit, like an orc cultist. And they would be cool because they could be like a morale unit. They could be like, I don't know how you implement them, but I guess you could have them as like a morale unit that like boosts morale of other orcs around them. Not necessarily a good melee unit, but I don't know. You could have it pretty good melee. But like in the movie, you see like that like orc cultist, like a few of them like biting on like Gondorian necks, like almost like vampires in a little way. So it could be quite a cool like unit to add. That's for sure. If you could do that, I like modders, I'd do something like that. That's quite fun. Certainly think that like other things like drummer trolls as well. That'll be a cool unit to add. Drummer trolls, because they could be also for morale. There you go. Looks like Gondor is slowly pushing back these orcs here pretty easily, actually. Mordor's just out of stuff. Mordor's just been relentlessly charging here. They threw their expensive stuff first. They should have been a little bit more patient. They did have the toughest spot to attack, but they should have taken advantage more of this area over here. Like they fought over here, it seems, like against Dunland, and then just yeah, after that they didn't then carry on pressing on. That's the area like I always feel is like as in you always need to press this area here, because then you get behind the wall, and once you're behind this wall, this whole area, this whole defense crumbles. Talking about defenses crumbling, the dwarven one over here, I don't know what they keep doing. I know that they're trying to like use these use the cavalry to support as much as possible. It's not working. I mean, there is the general in here though for the Eastlings, and this could be dangerous. So the Eastling general gets caught out here by Knights of the Mark and killed. He still has a reasonable amount of infantry. Like Noldorian swords on it. I mean, you've got Locrian halberds. I mean, there's Spores of Ruin. There's a few other units of his that are still down here. Khan, essentially, actually, a lot of this infantry back here is probably his, or at least half of it, I would have thought. But yeah, that's not a good sign. They could lose a general pretty early on here, but then also, I mean, Dunland could as well. But they've only got their elite shock yet left, which I can't see. Oh, have they sent it all over here? They've sent some of it here. There's a lot actually being just posted up here. Oh, an Errol Halberdiers and Iron Guards against Udunakori. To be fair, this is like probably the only unit I think that the Udunakori can't break through if it's a spear unit. That's Iron Guard. It's bloody tough to kill these guys off. They are a tough nut. They're basically shock infantry proof. Certainly at a choke point like this for the halberds. I mean, the halberds could do with maybe pushing forward a little bit. Just to keep supporting those Iron Guards, because the Iron Guards seem to keep pushing forward. That's probably what's getting them killed. They're down to 91, so they're still healthy. Those Iron Guard will fight to the last man, that's the problem as well. Maceman over here doing okay. Good charge there from the enemy general is dead, so that is, I think, is going to be the Eastling one. Yeah, Eastling one is dead. I was about to say good charge though here from Rohan. Actually doing a good amount of damage to that spear unit, because it charged them as well. So yeah, that was... Just stand your ground, elves. You'll be fine. They're actually sort of turning this around with the loss of that general. A lot of troops on the waver here. There are still a lot of other like factions have got their units in here, which won't be affected at all by the Eastlings. But I mean, rear charge like that, you can't ask for much more than that. That general though is also probably going to die here. I mean, he's got to be dead already, I would imagine. Let's have a look. I don't know. Blood Avengers, if you hover over him, doesn't say general dead, but he has rat on him. He's not. He's the last man. Wow, is he really going to be the last man in this unit? What a legend. It actually might be. Rohan now sending in infantry. I don't even think these guys have half a chance taking on the elves here. The elven shock infantry is just too good for them. More of it being thrown in here. Rohirrim going in, just smashing into whatever infantry they can find, whether it's friend or foe. And look at that, wards are rune breaking. I mean, there's Noldorian swords breaking. With the crossbows and stuff like that, they can hopefully do some really good damage. Yeah, that general dying, that might be costly there for the Eastlings. We'll see. Still a lot of Noldorian archers outside with ammo. That's a worrying sign. They could do with pushing on a little bit more. The attackers, they've still got a lot. They've got troops outside the walls. There's about 15 minutes left of this battle. They need to get going. They need to get pressing. Iron Guard here, yeah, just refusing to give any ground. Dunland shock infantry here waiting patiently. I mean, I guess they could sneak around if they wanted to. Charge the Duna Corey, but it's not really worth it. They could also just rear charge the Duna Corey, but again, well, not rear charge, like through their own units, get to the Duna Corey. Again, not really worth it. Was I seeing Duna Corey losing there? No, Iron Guard losing slightly, down to 57. Makes sense. Oh, Halbert's retreating as well. Here we go. Blood Avengers going in. More Dunacori being sent in. If in doubt, if it's not working, send more Dunacori in. And sending in the third one as well. Oh, they're not quite sending in. It looks like they're going to try and flank, which is not a bad idea, actually. I don't know where the defenders got any ammo, but they can really do some over here to deal with these Dunacori. Because they are, like, getting a fair few kills. And the Dunacori now goes into the side of these Blood Avengers. They got a pretty decent charge off there, so I imagine they will take the advantage of this fight. Yeah, Blood Avengers combat even. Yeah, taking a fair few losses. Halberds as well, trying to just poke these Dunacori to death. They're themselves getting shot. Yeah, plenty of shock infantry in here that can now cause a problem for the dwarves. Didn't bring any. It's just so bizarre. I mean, you've got like the elves, Linden, and you also have Harad. Probably both excel with their shock infantry more than anything else in the siege. And they didn't bring any themselves. I mean, I know they obviously have limited funds and stuff like that, so you decided to maybe bring like really sturdy infantry. It's not a bad idea. But you still had that bite. You still had that sort of like danger about it with the shock infantry. But I guess shock infantry can also, like, on the defense, just often get shot down to pieces. So it's a bit of a waste to bring sometimes. That's why I like using Gondor's a fairly safe faction to use in a siege, because they have no really good shock infantry you need to worry about. Knights of the Mark here, though, they've found a way through. They're going to go in for some rear charges. Got the Witch King over here. He's also losing in a fight to the Knights of the Mark here. He needs to be careful. He doesn't have too much of the way left as Mordor, but don't want to lose your general anyway. But yeah, I think this unit's going to be killed off. The Witch King is going to die. There is a secondary, like, Rohan unit on the way. Whether they're going to try and get a rear charge, I don't know. But there isn't, too much in the way of, like, Mordor stuff left. We've got Guards of Teeth here, losing decisively. And look at this! Rohan and Gondor pushing up. And Shipwright Nobles here as well, getting cut down by Blood Avengers. Ringlow Vale getting involved as well. You don't see this often. Shipwright Noble's losing this fight. These elves are probably demanding like an orbital strike right now from their archers. Like, I don't give a damn if it's danger close. Just shoot these goddamn blood avengers. They're carving us up. There you go, though. The cav and the infantry here help deal with the Witch King, and now they can press on for the next line of defense, which is Karna's sentries and a Noldorian sword. We've got some pretty nasty opponents coming up if they carry on down that route there. Or they could just carry on down this way and just chip away at archers that are just, I mean, they're not going to be any use, but, you know, army stats and stuff like that, they matter. There you go, the dwarves have forced back the Dunakori with pretty nasty losses as well. Routed one, the other one's down to 30 men. There's only one that's sort of healthy, that one's tired as well. Blood Avengers here getting jabby to death. But it's fine, there's another whole fresh unit on the way, and we've got Cav. What's the Cav going to go for? Is he going to charge to the Dunakori? I think it might. It is an option. Well, I guess maybe they're scared of the Mummoks. I'm not really sure. I guess they might be. Would make sense. They are Mummoks, after all. Again, it looks like Gondor being cautious. Just seeing what the defender's going to do is just not a bad idea. Noldorian nobles now do what they do best, and that's poke their way through choke points and winning this battle decisively against Blackroot Vale, like archers. No surprise there. This other Ringlow Vale unit could just rear charge the shipwrights and help rout them, but I don't think it's needed. Or they could get on the wall and recapture the gate. That would also be a very annoying thing for the defenders to do, that is for sure. God, shipwright nobles engaged over here. Shipwright nobles, though, I mean, it's the last solid infantry that they've got, really. I mean, they've got the pikes down here, these shipwright nobles, and the Noldorian nobles, the last real hope for anything that's going to break through. And then they really need to get their archers on the wall. Like, get these Noldorian archers on this wall and just start shooting at anything. Just start blasting. You can kill a lot of stuff. The real hope, I think, for breaking through is on this side here, where the Mummoks are, by the way. The Mummoks, and they're getting impaled on pikes. Oh, God. That's not good. That's not good. That's Haradi done a no-no there. That's a no-no. Shock infantry and pikes, no-no. The shock infantry, yeah, you can charge them. That's fine. No one's gonna complain about you doing that. But charging pikes, not today, big man. Not today. Let's not charge them. Oh, or don't listen. Just keep on charging. I mean, in theory, they can break through. Apparently, they should be able to break through like pikes, like pike phalanxes. We'll see. I mean, they have in fact just retreated. Whether they'll be used somewhere else, I don't know, because armor is pretty low. Yeah, over here, it seems like the fate of the West Gate is all but convinced. This is kind of like sentries of sword and shield. Does not look like it's mattering too much. They're getting cut down quite easily by these Arable Axe infantry. But they're protecting the back of those Noldorian nobles a little bit more. So much immortal blood has been spilt this day. So many elves have died. What fire arrows coming in? I don't know if this is a good idea. It's not exactly much to rout. I guess apart from this Noldorian archer here, which has gone into combat with a whole bunch of ammo. It's a really bizarre and just dumb move, really, to send him in. But we have got Fire Guard as well pushing forward here. They are getting butchered. I don't know if they've all died here or what. But yeah, Fire Guard against Noldorian nobles. Seems like Noldorian nobles having the upper hand here. That might just be down, like I said, to not as much armor loss and higher numbers, but who knows? It would be interesting to see some matchups. Allies general has fallen. That is not a good sign. I don't know whose that was. Maybe Dunland's? Dunland was literally one man. I don't think it was Erebor. Erebor's still over here. Could be Rohan, I guess. Rohan's general I cannot see. I can't see Emir anyway. Anywhere. Yeah, might be. I think it might be Emir. We've got Cav back here harassing stuff. Unless he's somewhere, I just cannot see him. Oh, he's over here. He's fine.
Nothing remains of this.
I guess it was Dunland. I guess Dunland lost their general. They're like one-man general. Just charged in and got himself killed. What a legend. Got the Muhad hunters down here though, taking on the spears of Gondor, the Citadel Guardsmen, and oh, the elephants are back, or the Mummock's back. Oh, and he roused just as quickly. Yeah, this is a steady choke point. They're not breaking through here anytime soon. These hunters, yeah, they're gonna need a little bit more than just that to break through. I mean, they've run out of stuff, that's for sure. The Junakori were like trying to punch their way through and having no luck. The elves, though, are still stuck in this gate. I mean, the defenders have done a really good job. I mean, there's 3 minutes left. Doesn't look like they've got any intention of retreating. They're going to try and hold them at the gate here. Gondor archers and mustered spears going into combat with Noldorian nobles. I think like the nobles just going to rack up a lot of kills here. They've just left like this. Just quite happily running into the pole arms. I mean, I guess they're just trying to, maybe they're trying to flank them. I don't know. Seems like a bit desperate. It's probably easier to retreat, to be honest, for the defenders. They haven't got much left over here. Aemir is over here, though. I guess maybe helping to cover any ideas. For these pikes can retreat. The general obviously might just charge in willy-nilly, and then Aemir here can mop him up. Easy. Done. But yeah, now all these troops over here, they can shift around. I mean, there's got the Corsair archers still here, but I don't think they're going to stay there for too much longer. We also have the Haradrim cavalry over here routing what remains of a Knights of the Mark. And here we got Fountain Guard. They're just gonna hold this ground. They're just gonna. It's probably the smartest thing they can do. I mean, still haven't seen all those archers get committed. There's just so many of them are outside the city. I don't know what they're doing. The cav here looks like. Oh, needs to be careful. That's an Noldorian noble. I was gonna say, Rohan, that is not a good idea. You're a very expensive cavalry. Do not charge into a very expensive polearm like that. You will lose. You will die, and I will get very upset. But it does seem as though they're just going to wait. The elves, yeah, just their biggest mistake is just not moving these archers forward. They brought them and then never did anything with them. So I don't know what their plan was. Really. I mean, Harad did a good job. Maybe he should have just given up on this choke point as soon as it wasn't really working for him. Gone back the other way. I'm surprised they didn't push on this way, because once you push on this way, you can just basically knock out all these choke points one by one, and then you're in business. Sorry, about to see a charge here. We've got Emma going in. He's going to go and charge into these elves and get. Oh, he's going to be technically a rear charge, I guess. Oh, he's lucky actually that those pole arms got across just in time. It does seem as though the defenders are going to win this. They actually got a decent charge off there. The Knights House of Earl saw an opportunity. It took a lot of losses, but did get a charge off on the elves. I guess just trying to be a pain. The battle is kind of over. There's 16 seconds left, so I guess that they know they've won. They're just kind of like going, we'll mess about for a moment. And there you go. Technically, this is a draw, but I would say it's a victory for Gondor, because they hold their city, and that is the main thing at the end of the day. An end replay. So we'll end the replay and have a quick look at the end results. This was sent in by Karpov, who was playing as Gondor himself. He only came out really with his Fountain Guard and his spears left. His general getting 73 kills, not too bad there at all. Gondor's swords, one getting 118 kills, another getting 800 kills. My gosh, that's impressive there from a Gondorian sword. I'm not sure how he got all those kills, but wow, 829 kills, very good. 272 kills, very good. Gondor archers getting 187, very good. Then we have Fjord playing as Dunland, 243 kills with his Champion Reaver General, 247 with the Dunherd Chosen. Blood Avengers getting like 140 kills. Spears, he brought a lot of these Elder Spearmen, like getting 87 kills, and 283 with his other Champion Reaver. Then Gwathor playing as Erebor. Then we've got 165 kills with Erebor Axe Warriors here, 183 with another. 221 kills with his Halberdiers. His Iron Guard only getting 58 kills, and his Crossbows getting 232 kills. All doing pretty well, to be fair. Then Zarm playing as Rohan. A lot of cav here, 367 kills with Knights of the Mark there, but all of them getting over 200 at least. Knights of the House of Earl, 214. Sword Thane's getting 150 is good as well, and Yeoman of the Mark, 107 kills. Then on the attack, we had MB playing as the Eastlings, 188 kills with Wards of Rune, 255 with a Maceman here. Then we have 88 kills with Carnish Sentries, 116 with another here. Not doing too bad at all. And then we have Zach playing as Harad, breaking through, doing a pretty decent job breaking through. Nearly getting 100 kills here with his Haradrim swords. His Umbar Usurper's getting 163 kills. Like his Aduna and Akori all doing pretty solid, 166, 179, 204. And then his his Corsair Archers getting 158 kills, and 95 kills with Muhad Hunters. Then we have Will here playing as Lyndon, 208 kills with his Shipwright Nobles. I mean, all did pretty solid. Yeah, he didn't really use his archers, which is kind of frustrating to watch. His Noldorian Nobles, 353 kills, and they're still healthy. My gosh, the other didn't do too shabby either, 123. 220 kills with his Noldorian Swords, most of them doing okay. And then we have Lance here playing as Mordor. Yeah, kind of threw his army away a little bit, I felt like, did Lance. Witch King getting 122 kills, 126 kills with the Pillagers here, 108 with the Guards of the Teeth, 125 with an Uruk Archer with his Olokai, 28 kills. Oof, rough to see. But there you go, guys. That is today's Siege Battle. If you did enjoy, do remember to leave a like, subscribe if you're new around here, and a comment show your support. And I'll see you guys in the next one.